Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by PewSitter.com, your online Catholic newspaper for the third millennium, CatholicMediaCoalition.org, in line with the Church, online with the world.
And TheAmericanCatholic.com, politics and culture from a Catholic perspective.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic News Roundup. I'm Michael Voris. Pope applauds the Philippines. Pope Benedict XVI praised the commitment of the Church of the Philippines in defense of life from its beginning to natural end, thereby protecting the poorest and the weakest members of society. The Pope addressed the bishops, stating that the Church must always make its voice heard, first of all with the proclamation of the gospel. The Pope continued, quote, "This voice expresses itself in the moral and spiritual witness of the lives of believers. It also expresses itself in the public witness offered by the bishops as the Church's primary teachers and by all who have a role in teaching the faith to others," end quote. The Pope also highlighted the commitment from the Church of the Philippines to be present in the field of social communications, stating the Catholic voice must be heard in all public forms of media so the gospel message may have an even more powerful impact on people. Dissidents in Catholic positions. Why? That is the question Father Raymond J. D'Souza asks after reading the Pope's new book, Light of the World, in which the Pope also laments the current situation. The Pope states, quote, "It is sad that there are what you might call professional Catholics who make a living on their Catholicism, but in whom the spring of faith flows only faintly in a few scattered drops," end quote. Father D'Souza agrees and says, "The great sadness of which the Holy Father speaks is that over several generations now, so many lay Catholics, professional, are marked by a deep adopted clericalism themselves, comporting themselves as members of a privileged caste. While there are signs of hope, the old guard remains firmly entrenched in most places." Father D'Souza concludes, quote, "The challenge of moving from a bureaucratic managerial church to an evangelical missionary one is at the heart of Benedict's message in Light of the World." Gift certificates for abortions. Yep, you heard that right. Planned Parenthood of Alaska, of course, is promoting a Choice on Earth abortion campaign at the annual Anchorage Holiday Bazaar this upcoming weekend by offering gift certificates which can be used towards paying for abortions. Planned Parenthood is one of 35 nonprofits participating in the annual Mitzvah Mall event, which is sponsored by a local Reformed Jewish synagogue. Mitzvah in Hebrew means good deed. In an email to supporters, Planned Parenthood noted that, quote, "The very popular season bazaar is a place to find gifts for hard-to-buy-for people on your list," adding, "These gifts from the heart range in price from $5 to $30. Stay with us. Back in just a few seconds.
Catholic News Roundup is brought to you in part by NewOxfordReview.org, the voice of Catholic Orthodoxy, in print and on the web, and RenewAmerica.com, expanding the influence of America's grassroots in the cause of freedom.
CatholicUnderground.com, the podcast about our Catholic faith and new media.
Dismissing Hawking's latest theory, renowned astrophysicist and Jesuit Father Michael Carrera spoke out recently, noting that British scientist Stephen Hawking's theory that the universe created itself from nothing lacks scientific rigor and validity. Father Carrera said Hawking's theory is unscientific because it contradicts the laws of physics and provides no proof for its claims. That, according to the Avan news agency. The priest's comments came during a conference in Spain titled Dialogue with Stephen Hawking on Creation. Father Carrera is a doctor in physics and professor of philosophy at the Comillas University in Spain. He is also a member of the Vatican Observatory. And lastly, Ohio pediatricians voice disgust that after a notorious late-term abortionist, Martin Haskell, moved in next door to their pediatric offices. The group is venting their outrage, calling the move a slap in the face to their practice that has nurtured children in the area for decades. One of the pediatricians, Dr. Stephen Bryn, was so upset that he wrote a letter to the editor that appeared in the Cincinnati Enquirer expressing his opposition to the abortion business. Dr. Bryn stated, quote, "We are here to prevent infant diseases, and they are here to end infant lives. We may not have the legal right to get them to move, but we will do anything in our power to vocalize our personal disgust with their mission," end quote. A department spokeswoman confirmed to LifeSite News that there was no pending license for an ambulatory surgical center at the clinic's newest location, which she indicated would require the license to operate legally as a surgical abortion clinic. This is not the first of Haskell's Mills to operate without a license as an ambulatory surgical center, which must also have a transfer agreement with a local hospital. I'm Michael Voris. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tune in tomorrow for your daily dose of Catholic News Roundup right here on RealCatholicTV.com. And be sure and check out The Vortex today, where we just begin a 4-day discussion on the virtues. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and tell your friends about us. And as always, God bless you.